Welcome to the Flashiest Get Paint competition with some lore thrown in it. So today we're going to be doing our community stream. Here we have me and the Get David, which is the co-founder of WAAAGH Tactics and does all our editing. Thank you very much to David for all that work. So today we're here to do the paint competition, show off all the flashy gets, throw in some lore, which is a new twist we have on here. So we have some codexes ready and some studying done. I see you guys all in the chat. So we can talk about rules, we can talk about anything, but of course we got to talk about today's sponsor, the Baron of Dice, for also allowing us to do this competition. We give out Baron of Dice competition dice when we do this. So to the winners that we're going to report on at the end of this, we'll get free Baron of Dice. So thank you very much, because these are beautiful dice that I use every single game now. And shout out to our tokens. So if you're playing Tactical Brigade, check out our website and check out the tokens, as they let you to be more cunning, tactical, and efficient with your tactics. So David, let's get stuck in, because we had a lot of entries this month, and let's get a wad of chat. Whoa, to the chat. And so we had a lot going on. A lot of people were going hard in the paint, and we wanted to throw in some lore. So periodically we're going to discuss just overall topics about flash kits, about Captain Badrukk, about freebooters themselves. The chat can kick in as well, and then we're also going to be showing off the gets that got stuck in this week. Everybody got only one slide, because we had like 35 or 40 entries, so you only got one slide, and that's it. So if you didn't see your house or a picture of how you liked it, is because it was hard to format it. Some people had to kind of edit around it and expand your picture. Some of them it came straight up on beautifully. And that started off with Gas Burglar. So Gas Burglar is our first entry here. And this was one of those pictures that it just hit in really clean. David, what do you love about Gas Burglar today?
Yeah, I just like the colorway he went with the checkered, black and white and red. So golfs, right?
Yeah, so these are Buddhas in this case. But David, we were talking about freebooters themselves. What does it even mean to be a freebooter? Because, you know, most people think they just go together, like flash kits are freebooters and freebooters are flash kits. It kind of does work out that way when you think about what their name actually means.
Right.
So what does freebooters actually mean?
So that's actually one of the questions I had going into learning about freebooters. I'm like, where does the Buddhas come from? Like, what does that mean?
They kick each other. No.
Yeah, I was like, they just kick each other. Or the shoes, I was thinking, I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. So then I found under freebooters that a majority of them are flash kits that are booted out of their clan. And that's where it comes from.
And the term flash get, right? If you think about, I'm talking lore because some of you guys are new, and a lot of people hear about orc lore, don't really understand it. Orcs are like straight up literal with their names as well.
Yeah.
Just like a slug is a slug, a choppa is a choppa. Flashy get is literally a flashy dude, a flashy orc, right? So if you're thinking about it, what David's saying is the flashy dude got kicked out of his clan and they became a clan. That's literally all it is. So it's a clan of flashy dudes that got kicked out of their other clans. That's what it means to be a freebooter flash kit.
Right. Well, what I love about it is their humor too, because being booted out of a clan is kind of shameful, but they took it as their own name to kind of show off, like, yeah, we're proud of this.
Yeah, we are the flashy freebooting gets. What's good? Like, they didn't even care. So it's really funny how flash gets are almost just synonymous with what it means to be a freebooter. But in reality, freebooters are kind of like a clan that's known for kind of pirating, known for being kind of mercenaries and mercs in some kind of way. But before we go into that chat, let me know if you guys knew that, because I know some of you guys probably didn't know nothing about orc lore, because I know I didn't when I started. As for my boy Gas Burglar, I love the golf DACA boys. You always do good. I think you've also won paint competition before, so you know that. Shout out to the Git. We're going to move on. I love their skin, by the way. The fact that they have dark armor and bright skin, I'd love to see these on the tabletop. Shout out to the Flash. Oh, I gave him 2. Sorry, you got 2. Lucky Git. All right, you're the only one. And then we move to another great Git, the Legend. So this is the Legend, someone who's been in our paint competition, active in our Discord. Love this Git. And here we have, someone just said in chat, death skulls. Yeah, these are actually death skulls that my boy painted them as. Dave, what'd you say though?
Oh yeah, I just love that blue. I mean, that really just sticks out. It's very clean. Putting it on the token and contrasting with like a kind of like a gray steel black kind of. I don't know how you describe that.
I like it. You can tell he was just trying to make sure that they were uniform, done in like a batch kind of sense, but yet he took the time to really flesh out their weapons, their nice iconic gear, like the hats, the fist banners. I like that, because in reality they would be metaled up you know, so it's just like they would have a lot of metal bits, some of it would be kind of scrapped and used all over again. So I think a rustic look would even look even cool on that as well. But those are a great job, the legend. Like always, you get. I like your paint scheme whenever you do the entries. And my boy Save Master here said all boots are free if you do Descos. And so these these guys all got free boots. So because Descos are known for pretty much looting, like stealing stuff from dead bodies and just straight up off the battlefield. So Save Master is saying all his free bootas have free boots. So that makes sense to me. And shout out to the legend for his beautiful models. And thank you to everybody who goes in here and enters. I know it takes time, it takes effort. Some people aren't confident. You're showing your stuff off. Hundreds of people are going to see this, maybe 1,000, and then also a whole Discord gets to see it. So thank you for showing it off. I know I'm not a great painter to any degree, so I love when everybody gets involved and doesn't have any, over enthusiasm, like I'm awesome, I'm a dragon winner, but then someone else that's like, hey, I'm getting these done battle ready, like Tony. Shout out to Tony. I told him put him in here, Tony, and he's like, for sure. But the legend always getting stuck in here, has so many painted models, so thank you for being a legend as always. And then here we actually have someone new. David, how do you say that? Shaw in Discord. So Shaw, you actually gave me another picture too that I liked, but what was it? It was whited out in the back, so I really couldn't get a good.
It was transparent.
It was transparent. So sorry about that, but this picture did you justice on how beautiful these guys are to a certain degree. We don't get to see how nice you did your hats and like your earrings and such, but I love how you have the energized point of the weapon, which is behind the freebooter. So David, what do you think about this get here? Because there's a lot of things I like about this one.
Overall, I'm a big fan of the banners on the flash kits, so I love how he did the banners on here.
Good banners.
Like what was it, the shading? That fist looks great.
Yeah, I think the banner as a whole, that the one on the right, how he painted it like it's a rocket ship blasting off, or like it's just a rocket in general. So I thought that he was pretty sick how he did that. As a whole, the bright green red mixed with the bright green skin, yet you pulled off the Bad Moon's yellow, so you still have the yellow get underneath this, so we know it's a Bad Moon, or I assume it's possibly a Bad Moon, or it could be a freeboot, I guess, but assume it's a Bad Moon. You still have yellow, and you still have the red, the green, the blue, and everything is very distinct and catches my eye in a good way. I'm not really distracted by anything. It's like, ooh, the armor is nice and yellow. It's a really he's obviously kind of dusted up from him shooting. The fact that it's a little rustic and beat up, not really clean paint job. I really love that. Little worn, weathered, I guess is the proper word I was looking for there. So this one was really beautiful. I love this one. Great entry on this get as always. And this reminds me of when I was listening to Brutal but Cunning, right? So this is Brutal but Cunning is the orc book that actually has Captain Badrukk and Flash kits in it. Okay. And I'm not going to spoil it, so don't worry, I'm not spoiling your stuff because I'm going to discuss just them as a whole. But something Captain Badrukk and the Flash kits are known for, not just their weapons themselves or how they're just flashy for how they look, but the fact that they utilize teleportation, right? So the fact that Captain Badrukk and a big brick, how we understand them as bricks in Warhammer, mob of dudes would drop and actually instantly drop down with their energized super heavy weapons already able to shoot and laying it out of fire. And this is kind of what he reminds me of, is their weapons are kind of like energized big DAKA as well. It's not, it's a mixture of almost like a energized like shells, like bolter shells. It's like really cool how they have theirs worked out. Doesn't have any more AP or anything, obviously we know that, but it's more explosive, it's more damaging. It could take down like vehicles even in the stories. Like what are those AdMech robots? The
Iron Striders or the Castellan robots? The
Castellan, right? Okay. So it takes down like Castellan robots with simply flash kits in the lore. So that's what his weapon reminded me of. So shout out to you, Get. That was beautiful. Then we move on to the Speed Freak. So we know about you when your Speedy Freak gets out here. I like that you have the pink bits on your weapons. I thought that was pretty unique and fun. The tan armor with like a little gray. I would say it could use distinction on the pole, right? Because I like the look as a whole, but I want the pole to be distinct. Other than that, the muscle definition on your flash kits is beautiful. I really like that, and you kept the basing really simple. Sometimes it doesn't really have to like stand out because it takes away. Maybe a little dry brush, boom. But you made the deadline, so I appreciate you get, and you got a whole unit and you entered them. The muscle definition is really what I appreciated most on here, and the weapons themselves, how you took the bullets, the little bit of pinkness, and it doesn't really look them like too flamboyant. It kind of just fits in. What do you think about these gits?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the head with the snaz gun. I mean, you have to be snazzy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole theme behind the flash kit. So appreciate that. Just adding that little touch, for it to stick out.
Yeah, for sure. But you keep submitting those gits because I know you're happy. I think you got some set of tactics dice too for your army competition win. So now we move on once more to there's a couple of you guys that have really cool purple ones. This is he's called there's several. Is that one? There's several people. Okay. There's several people is who this one is. So several people is literally the Discord name. David's like, what is that? Yeah, that's it. He said he actually painted them 2 weeks ago and they got worn out because he took them to a tournament immediately after. So I thought they looked pretty sick though. The olivey green that you have on there, on your flash kit green is pretty awesome. The fact that their bases are just straight barely like, hey, battle ready, baby. But that's what he's saying. He just got them done 2 weeks ago. I would say I like the green skin. Really is probably the best part. That's really standing out on me here. Even though you took, you said you got them done quickly to get them battle ready. I really like the skin. So if you ever go back and touch these up at all, if you feel a need to, I don't think you do. But if you did, I'd leave the skin alone. You just simply nailed that. You simply nailed that. As for everything else, for simply being battle ready in a short amount of time, you did more work than I've seen so many other people do. Be proud of these. I'm really glad you put them in. And yeah, he said, I want the guns to make as little sense as possible, is what this kid said. And that's perfect, right? Because we were talking about how there's the death skulls and they do the looting. The flash kits get all the flashiest loot. So in a way, they do a lot of looting, kind of like the death skulls, but death skulls will take anything and scavengers. Instead of freebooters, they're looking specifically for the best loot on the whole planet. And that's kind of what takes them to the best fight. So they like fighting just like any other orcs. And what's funny about them, you guys always see them in like in your kit at home, like this guy in the middle, on several people's the middle, his boss, what we used to know as the boss with the biggest banner, how he has a big cigar. It's because these dudes do get turned up. They before they get in the fight, they like to drink, they like to smoke their cigars, they keep them on them, and they move around. Grots try to steal them from them, so Grots can have them too. So these guys are really like bombastic, boastful, kind of like the most what's the term? I don't want to be rude to those people. Like sorority boys with all the flashy gits and stuff, right? They're just showing it off. They're like, look at my nice gun, my nice hat, my nice car, my nice do-rag. So each one of these dudes is trying to updo the other guy. It's super funny when I think about it. And you outdid yourself, several people, with that skin. So then we move on to another git where we have All-Star, my boy. We've seen your work out here too. And that is your Captain Badrukk. So he's like, really, I'm just showing off my sick Captain Badrukk. I want him to be the focus. He did have boys and stuff, but I couldn't fit a bunch of characters. So I wanted to show at least the big boss and then Captain Badrukk. What do you think about this guy, David? Because I know you're just kind of like, what the? That's a lot going on.
Yeah, I love that gun. It's definitely flashy. It's almost as big as him.
Yeah,
freaking cool. And I like the chainsword at the end of it too.
I like that he has a chainsword on it as a bayonet. Yeah, and then he also has one in his hand and is pointing downward. So he's pointing downward like the actual Emperor Captain Badrukk. Now, if this was, this is, and this is what I got to say, right? Maybe I should have renamed the whole title before of everything. If it comes down to the flashiest get, I think this model won. If it was just by a model basis, right, and this wasn't a Captain Badrukk competition,
that's true.
If it's about just the flashiest individual get, it might have to be this get, between his banner, double chainsword, bayonet. He's going all out. But his get on the side is too. I remembered back in other editions, guys, 8th edition, where you see that little targeting squig, it would give your sergeant a +1 to hit. Or he'd hit on either that or he'd hit on 3+ himself because he shot through the squig. So it was like every other guy in the unit shot on whatever they shot, which was 4s, and then he shot at I think 3+ because he had the targeting.
Yeah, he had the advantage of the targeting.
Yeah, and that's cool. Precise. Yeah, it definitely makes you take too much time, right? It's kind of overall. I think I'm okay with us not having that anymore. But when I was learning and such, I was like, that's sick. Yeah, my knob is cool.
Very thematic.
Yeah, we all like that. Yeah, and you keep priming those Battle Force boxes, get them stuck in there. All right, and then
Nope.
so other than that, let me say a shout out to this kid before I. Yeah, so shout out to you, All Star. When it comes to your actual Captain Badrukk, that is the absolute All Star of the flashiest gets. But another absolute All Star is
Oh, Henrietta with a
whoa.
20 donation. The nice models, folks. I'm working on a death skull, Death Dread, with 3 claws and a flamer. I watch your streams back.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You have been generous and loving before, so thank you very much. Super generous of you. Of course, these are the streams we do for the community, so we know they're not going to get a bunch of likes and subs, and maybe overall hurt us a little bit in the algorithm. But this, you guys showing that you care and how many entries we got and how much people are actually here in the live and participating. So it's a strong live, even if it's only 20, a dozen, I don't care. It's beautiful. So thank you very much, and everybody did do a great job. As for that death skull you're working on, I like that. The triples, when you have those squiggly arms, you might be happy that fourth arm doesn't exist just because like trying to hide the model with that fourth arm all the way out to the side might not be able to get line of sight. We'll always get line of sight onto him, right? So great job with that. When we do the death skull competition, I want that person to be submitted for the paint competition, right? So we might do it next. We'll think about it, or the next one after this one to give you some time. But if you're working on it, we might need you back. And thank you for being back, like you said. Very generous of you. And another person who's always very generous is the legend Wicked Joe. Whoa! Wicked Joe's that assassin orc running around not really as much an assassin as much as a war horde, triple pig beast running around with the squigs all over the world, America. But Joe's been just at it competitively, going to all different events all over America, meeting some gets, handing out WAAAGH dice at GTs he's been to.
Yeah.
So he walks up to get. So if you randomly have one WAAAGH dice, it's because you met this git. All right. And he was randomly, he's like, what's good? I'll throw a dice at you and then try to crump you. So thank you very much, Joe. That was beyond generous that you did that. Free promotion and advertisement, being said. So thank you very much, Joe. That was really cool. And yeah, triple pigs. And we move on to I clicked the button, but we move on to another paint competition entry. And this is one of our old school gets. It's been here since we were young subs too, is the Big Mac Brandon. So one of our few moderators. And he got stuff. And I know you had other pictures, how they formatted. I chose these individual close-up characters, even though you did have one squad picture. Maybe I should have included that one. But I thought you did a great job, Brandon. It always impresses me when you see really highly skilled competitive players that also have like a nice knack for painting, especially when it's a unique style with this paint. What do you think, David, about his actual flash kit? The Captain Badrukk's on the right.
Yeah, it's unique. I don't even know how to describe it. That's how unique it is. It's got like this dark kind of like
what I want to say,
not grim dark necessarily, but
what I love about his weapon and his armor, and this is how I always perceive orcs that I think people forget, is their metal is rusted up, right? So like when I see a gray metallic one, I like it, but when I first started, I wanted almost everything to be gray. But I remember when I used to use Typhus Corrosion, if you guys know what that is, right? And it's like a texture paint, and it gives you like little grit so that you can put it on your orc armor, and then you can dry brush with it like orange or red, and then it'll give you like a nice rustic look. I did 20 boys like that, and I was like, that was a lot of work. I don't want to do that anymore. But this is actually a really good paint competition to still kind of simulate the fact that, or kind of show off the fact that like, no, this is rusted armor. This is still rusted metal that they're using here that at least oxidized on the outside of it, and then everything else still works. That's why I really like it. As for his muscle, he really did the minimum highlighting locations, but he highlighted a lot of good spots. Right. Surface area, right? The lightest surface area he hit, but a lot of spots of surface area. Really unique paint approach to that, in my opinion. And then as for the Captain Badrukk, really clean since he's an old fine cast resin model. This isn't a paint competition for Captain Badrukk, but I still like to show him off when people give the OG model in case people never see him. Since we have the Met Captain back, now talk about lore again. So as for the Met Captain, right? So the Met Captain is actually makes sense because as the Flash gets want the most loot and they're seeking to get to the biggest fight and have the most upgraded weapons, it's natural that they would approach a Big Mech. and then they would perceive the Big Mac still in orc ranking based off how big they are. He's still their captain and there's a captain because they act more like pirates, quote unquote, right? This is where the hats. We know that blood axes, they act more like guardsmen. They will use rankings. But for these guys, they'll use the captain. They'll use the captain setting for the Big Mechs and Mega Armor, or the Big Mechs in general, because that's their captain. So they're showing their superiority rank. And then they're the Big Mech because they have the most loot to upgrade all their armor. So it makes 100%. Before, when I first seen the Big Mech and Mega Armor with 10 flash kits, I didn't really like it. Like I didn't understand. I was like, that doesn't make sense. He has a 2-up armor saves. He's like a Terminator. These guys are like knobs. They should be with the war boss, but that doesn't really make sense. They should get the Big Mech. Like, I had different thoughts. But when I really looked into it, I was like, of course, bunch of flash kits would be around a super Big Mech and Mega Armor, and he's giving them some super weapons, and then it's going on. And then he gives them an invuln for a shield. So I thought it was really sick. And shout out to Brandon, the Big Mech.
Yeah, it makes sense if you're all armored up that you got some pretty flashy gear.
Yeah, for sure.
So they respect you because of that.
Yes, exactly. Right. So back to the whole point of the flash kits lore. They just care about being flashy. Yeah. They don't care who you are. And in this case, it was a Big Mech captain. And shout out to you, Brandon, for that. And then another gear right here, we got Tony. So Tony this is his Captain Badrukk conversion. I should have pulled his actual models, but he was like, I didn't want to put things yet because I'm mostly paint for being battle ready to big events. But this is what I'm talking about. I appreciate that he still went out of his way, wasn't too sensitive or caring about what people think. Go, yeah, dude, I'm getting involved in this competition because my paint job would be just as much effort sometimes, right? And like my Peace Ball is very similar paint job. And he got this ready so he could take it to LVO, I believe, or some other big event. And then he submitted it, which is just what we wanted here, right? Yep. So thank you very much. As for the git, I like that you picked the olive green skin. And I love purple, as my gits are purple too. So the fact that you got some purple gits is fantastic. Thank you, my git Tony, for getting stuck in, lad. And then we move on to Ken with a ho-ho he put in his. David, what you think about the red flashy gits? These guys are looking crispy.
Yeah, that red just pops real nicely. Like, it just shines.
Yeah, he took the same. Sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
No, I just liked it.
Yeah, he put the same photo kind of twice. One's darker than the other. Maybe I should have put the individual character and guy instead. I thought he gave a different contrast, a different feature because it was a slight angle difference. But all in all, these guys are really, really clean on those weapons. It's like weapons that are this clean and so detailed, it's almost like I have to charge the enemy because I want them when they're doing their pile-ins and consolidates to look at my flash kits.
Yeah, I was just wondering with the red as you were speaking and with the black hats, if he was going for like a Buccaneer theme.
Oh, with the pirates, hey, let us know, Ken. I see you.
If it is, that'd make it even better. Like,
that's a good call out. He didn't write it. He just put yo ho. Just so you guys know, but that's a really good call. If
not, you can claim and take it.
If not, between the 25 people that are gonna watch this stream and us, you can totally claim the Buccaneer look for this. All right, I thought that was good enough. So fantastic, dude. I love it. And then we move on to another flashy get out here, and this is simply my boy S. That's his name. That's his name.
It's mysterious.
And so is his backdrop. So what's up with the black backdrop, dude?
Endless black.
Just endless. I like that, man. That looks clean. So I think who are you talking about, Caspin, with the brass looking sharp? You're right. That is. Are we talking about the last picture?
Talking about was it Brandon?
No, this. The brass looking sharp on my boy.
Oh yeah.
On my boy Ken. Yeah, you're right. But my boy's looking sharp over here too, Mr. S, with this dark, scary look. My dude, what's up? I like that. Bring him back the grim dark, huh? Bring him back the grim dark. Now, this is what I'm talking about with the weathered, rusted look. Now, he didn't have to do the typhus corrosion stuff that I did. But this is nice. This is some high-level stuff here. Really, really good on the face.
Yeah.
Really good on the faces. And then also on the git, looking really good.
Yeah, with the weathering, these gits definitely look like they got stuck in.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and another very generous again.
Oh, Henrietta with another 20. I'm sorry, I don't know what that currency is.
I think that's euros.
Euros?
Is that euros? So that's extra
pound?
big, boy.
Yeah.
Pound? Euro? I think it's euros. I'm like 95% sure.
Well,
if I'm wrong, you can let us correct us. Ignorant. All right, we're Americans.
Flash kits are the coolest. Yeah, they are.
I mean, you're the coolest of you. Very generous gifts. So shout out to you, Henrietta. Whoa, we're gonna blow up you guys in chat listening right now. Thank you very much for the support, though. That's a big deal. It really is, especially because we do it for y'all, and it shows that you enjoying it, getting stuck in your case, really getting stuck in. So thank you very much, Henrietta. If I get some, leave that up a little longer. Yeah, cash hits are the coolest. Now, as for my boy S, this is beautiful. It was pound.
Yeah,
Oh, it was pound.
it's
David
pounds.
was right. Dang. Okay, was I wrong? I was wrong. Or was I don't remember. But yeah, but that's awesome. Thank you very much. As for this get Mr. S, this is fantastic. We might have to actually come back to you, Mr. S. All right, just on the flip side. As for everything, you did a great job. This is beautiful. Honestly, might be one of our winners. We might have to declare this.
I think so. Then we're gonna make an audible.
I think we have to make a audible right here. I think I missed him in the overall rankings because what we did is we put some people, got them together, and I presented pictures. And I think they just didn't see this get because he was just one picture by himself.
Yeah.
But this get between his weathering, the basing, each individual model being hit, the rusting happening out, like the detail you can tell on this triple barrel model right here, the fact that the actual ports where the hot air would be exhausted out and cooling vents, they are clear of rust. Yet there's an accumulation on the actual barrel of the weapon. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's attention to detail.
The fact that all these Git's mouth isn't just straight up like a pink, right? You can see that it's a little bit of a dry lippy looking thing, and then over the top of it like a crust, a little dirty on the chin, a little dirty on the cheeks from smoking or getting burnt up doing cigarettes, the backblast from the weapon. So this has to be audible for Mr. S to be a winner.
Yeah, don't forget about that ominous background too.
Yeah, and the ominous back. It didn't give you points. It didn't give you points, but it definitely made me intimidated.
I like that it contrasts to yellow though more.
It did. Actually, I think this whole thing made it is the reason why we didn't see your picture. All right. Now we move on. Shout out to you, Mr. S. That was beautiful. All right. And we move on to another beautiful get Dicey Games. So Dicey Games.
I don't remember seeing this one either.
You didn't see this one either?
No.
Oh, no?
These guns are
These guns are the flashiest of the guns.
Yeah, they are.
Which is per squad. If it's per squad, like we just discussed when we discussed the lore, these guys are the flashiest.
Dude, these guys got the most stock.
I think David just decided these guys win too. All right, so Dicey Games, there's just Dicey Games.
Oh, Dicey Games. He follows us on Instagram. I recognize his name.
Oh, you do?
Shout out Dicey Games.
Shout out Dicey Games, winner.
And checking out the channel too.
Yeah, does he do painting or something too on his own?
I believe so. Yeah.
So I guess shout out to or check out Dicey Games too. Got some advertisement back of his great painting. So he had more pictures. If you want to check them out, remember in the Discord, there's more pictures to all these things. If you see some here, check them out. Hit the person if you have questions. But this guy, like we said with the flash kits, flashiest weapons, the biggest, most barrels, loudest, most obnoxious, automatically win. This guy has multiple of this looks like a flash kit gun, and then he took a Death Watch. He took a Death Watch special weapon. I forgot what it's called, like a Death Watch cannon or something. Yeah. And it looks like he attached it to his flash kit gun for this metal dude. I don't know if it's exactly that Dicey Games, but that's pretty dang close.
I'm curious what's going on with this. How you made that one.
Dude, and then this guy on the bottom left, he took a shooter, and then he took another shooter. And this is the most orky, like the most orky guns ever right here. Dicey Games, you win for that because this isn't even like. There gets more. Like David right here in the Discord. There's a guy that had. There's one of these guys. I didn't get to put it up here, guys. Sorry, you can't see it. It's 1, 2. Can I can't pull it up on screen.
You share
here.
Yeah.
Bam! This get has literally 8 barrels right there. All right, you guys see this? This 8-barrel get we got out here. All right, so he was going wild. He was going wild. So enough said. You already won. Stop being the dead horse. Great job. Move on.
Let's go.
So we have Zyrene. So Zyrene, you've actually won before. You can't win. No more random winners. No, I'm just kidding. So Zyrene with a beautiful skin popping olive green. Of course, you did a great job on the lighting, by the way, so we can get really clear pictures. You're great at that. Love the red. I like that people are. I'm actually really interested or surprised to a certain degree how much red is chosen for the flash kits just gun. I guess that goes together with being flashy. Chat, what do you guys think? Why are they all red? What do you guys really think? Why do you think they're all actually in Arcane Asylum? Why are they all red? We're asking you. $5 super chat. Whoa, Arcane Asylum, super supportive. Great job in your last paint competition. 2 do you get Arcane Asylum? So Yeah, this
Yeah,
person
they-
said not enough.
I think
vodka.
red just pops.
Why is red?
Like
Why is it
psychologically, like
psychologically?
there's something like it makes you hungry.
Yeah.
Like gives you
Oh, it makes you hungry.
anger.
See?
Like that's why like the Soviet Union used red, McDonald's uses red.
Okay.
You see people with red cars that are trying to be
So
flashy.
do these red guns just want more DACA? More DACA! Woo! All right. I'll accept that answer. That follows the org line of logic. Arcane Asylum also agrees with it. More DACA, DACA $5. That worked. That worked.
So I'm wondering, do freebooters feed off the energy, like the jealousy of other orcs? Because they're always
like a different type
jealous?
of raw energy.
Yeah.
Well, we know that jealousy produces a different kind of negative emotion. What would it be? Not spite, but kind of like a passive kind of aggression, like almost jealousy. I can't think of the word. It'll come back to me. Malicious or malice, I don't know, but being jealous can produce negative emotions, and that does produce some raw energy. Because if being jealous makes me want to crump you and take your stuff, which is an orc's default reaction, then yes. So Flashiest might get more bold by how the orcs hating on him. We have this new theory. We didn't see this in the codexes we have here, because I have 3 codexes we were looking at for the lore. See that, but we just made that up right now. We're gonna make it canon. Forget you bricking your tanks. All right, this is real orc lore happening here. That tank thing isn't real, but I think it's funny. All right, so Irene, these are beautiful. We have a lot of great pictures also in the Discord. The fact that you kept all of those Docker shells from being broken off your models is kudos to you itself. Right. That you still have them on like this back kit. What I really like is that banner right there, the blue one. How it has that nice transparency and edging. That's like like edge highlighting. Very beautiful there. And the muscle definition and the face. This dude smoking a cigar looks like he just noticed he's about to get shot.
Oh, I was gonna say, I like how he made it look like an ember was still burning on the cigar.
Yes, that's a great point. So Zyrene, you always go hard in the paint. And so we move on. And we should move on to another git that's always gone hard by actually making a WAAAGH Tactics. The knob that we show off all the time every Wednesday is WAAAGH. So my boy WAAAGH, he always likes to do the GW terrain with.
Yeah, he does, right?
With, yeah.
This is like signature.
Yeah, with whatever he presents for the paint competition. I love it. Gives it more of the thematic. What I like here that I haven't seen, that and you just reminded me of this, WAAAGH, looking at your entry. On the top of the building right there, that git with the actual handgun being pointed out like this, that's sick. And I haven't seen a lot of these actually entries with guys that are actually pointing the gun. A lot of the time people will take that gun and use it for like kit bashing, making additional stuff. Like I made a mech, like an individual mech with his gun with pointing. So sometimes people just end up using, like, that's the most produced bit arm in my opinion, that people can like stack onto it, because it's a fully stacked small arm gun. So yeah, it just seems like a lot of time that gets used, but he put all 10 gits. One of those guys actually has it. And then this actual, what used to be the knob, I assume in his, because sometimes they used to have like a leader before. This guy with the targeting squig, he has that big, I think that's an AOS skull from the Iron Jaws. For that. So I like that he added a couple bits. He didn't go overboard with kit bashing or bits, because they're flashy gits. They already come with a lot of sick stuff. Do you have anything you want to say there, David, about this?
No, I just appreciate WAAAGH always participating in our competitions. It really helps inspire and motivate the rest of us to keep on painting.
Yeah, it really does. Well, thank you, WAAAGH, for always participating. We love you, Git. Woo for WAAAGH. Oh, and shout out to those checker banners. I love that a lot too. I was going to say, I thought about that beforehand. Boom. And we move on. But before we move on, Cop, my boy, always supporting with the $5 chat. He said, we want a proper War Bosses paint competition. The Stomper one. Woo. It's so funny. I still think about this sometimes. How when the Codex came out and I made like a little bit too many videos about the Stomper, and people still doubted it. And here we are a year later, and people were like, Stomper's not even playable, bro. That thing's so unplayable. Right? And you're not going to win at GTs with it, but you can win games. You can win RTT, like rounds in RTTs, at GTs, even win a small RTT with it. So shout out to the Stomper, because you might not be able to use it again for like another 10 years if you're not using it this edition. So if you have one, give it a chance. And you're right, it might actually make it the paint competition. We'll think about it, but that's a good suggestion. But yeah, right. Imagine, when are you gonna get to use your Stampa again in like 10 years? I had a Stampa, I was like, what? And stop. I'm using it, boy. Like I was ready, and it's been going hard.
It was probably the best time ever.
Yeah, once I won RTT, I was like, I'm done. I won. I dunked it. I don't gotta do nothing else. All right, so now we move on to someone else who dunked it right here. I had their name. Sorry, guys, I rolled because now we're getting close to all the kids. Actually, Dave, you tell me what you think first as I find mine gets name.
Well, this paint job definitely is flashy. It's got that like Miami kind of night vibe, and you know that's pretty flashy and party-ish. You know?
Did you notice?
So these flash kits must have ported in Miami Beach or something.
This is my crazy. I'm not even surprised now that I see who this is. This is my boy Alderin Shot First from the Discord. This dude's always wild with his entries, and his skin is the one thing I wanted to point out here. Look at that super dark orc skin, right? Yeah. The total opposite spectrum. And then he's like, all right, and then we pop it at night. Right? He's out there, right? With his what the heck? Alderin Shot. He's always wild with it. Someone put oof as the thing. Now, as for his models, I like how you always find a way to like put all these bright colors together, but you find a distinction that each goes in its own place and doesn't kind of overwhelm you in itself. I think what really allowed you to do that was keeping the skin dark, and so great job on that. As for the nighttime, I don't even know what happened. Would I just get up at night and start looking at my stuff? The best part, absolutely, of all of these guys is the one squig at the very front of the targeting that looks like Larry from Monsters Inc. Is his name? You know, or whatever that little green one is, right? I don't know. What's the green guy from Monster Inc.'s name? This squig, Charlie? I don't remember his name. He looks like it, dude. Alderin Shot First. Thank you for that. I'm happy just based off that. Love the look. And the fact that the squig's green and the other one is Mike. It's Mike. Yeah, Mike. Mike, dude. I got Mike the squig on his shoulder. Whoa, Alderin Shot First. And then we move on. So he said that's Mike Wazowski. Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Shout out. But did he not look like Mike Wazowski, chat? Come on. I'm not tripping, right? I didn't pull that. That's not even insulting. I thought that was a good thing.
Yeah, I wanted to throw a Night in the Roxbury reference in there too.
Oh, what was that?
Like the hit up the club. That's that Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, I know what that movie is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just big old clubbing. I mean, they're
okay.
Kids are partying, dude.
This is a Night at the Roxbury Flash. Will Ferrell. And then we move on to a beautiful boy, Risk. He said just some dark, grimy gits, and you did a great job with that dark, grimy gits. I'm glad you had the second set of pictures that are a bit more close up and clean, because the first one, it shows them all as a squad, but it was a little dark. So these give you a little bit more justice. As for these guys on the right, dude, that squig looks like he got dude, what is that guy on, dude? He was at the rave too. That squig was at the rave with Mike Rogowski, dude. He's out there. What the heck?
He's still tripping.
Yeah, he's still tripping, guy. Okay, besides that squig, I'm putting my mouse over so I gotta look at him. That is a sick blue that goes with it. Now the fact that it's kind of underneath the model, like the under. Yeah. Is sick, because you look at it, it catches your eye, but you have to draw it now to the center of the model. You get to notice their armor, the face, everything else in between, because it's not like on the top. They make it kind of fit a bit more balanced. Are you still thinking about the squig?
No,
I see you look. He's looking at.
I did see that
because they're right here. Because look at my boy right here. Said, "Yes, Rave eating too many mushrooms." Yeah. That squig ate some mushrooms and started looking like that. That's what your mushroom looks like, dude. The rest, just so you know. Yeah, there was a drink that I was trying to pull up here that I was reading, like a fungus drink that the Flash Kids drink. They drink that, and they look like that squig right there. All right, so beautiful model. The fact that you have a darker skin tone helps you pull off the bright blue, the bright yellow, and then the purple. I love that it's a different tone of purple. Yeah. It almost like goes unnoticed. You almost accept it as like almost like a gray as a backdrop, but really it's a purple. From far away, it almost looks like a purple. I mean, a gray, but it's a nice light purple, and I love it. The squig still is making me laugh. And the banners, the complexity of the banners is really nice. You gave them like a dark edge highlight instead, so it looks like it's a little bit weathered. And then like here you can see each bolt has a little bit of weathering on it. So these guys have crazy good detail. That and the rust bases. You did a really good job by putting that patrol picture behind them.
Dude, these look so clean that that almost looks like the box art. just with the backdrop.
Landon,
Like,
you're gonna give him a win too. Then are you gonna have to give him one
Is that
too?
what you're saying?
It's up to you. You know.
I mean, I think that
I don't know how many dice we have. I would just give it to
take all
everybody.
those shrooms for nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You're winning too. You get dang. Okay. Just because you're this stupid squig. Right.
6.
Okay. If you win, I send you a message. Well, reply to me, or I'm not gonna send you dice. All right. You'll get. All right. So then we move on. That was hilarious. Then we move on. And here we have Grumfather. Yes, with his finally straight up ready, made it to the game. Flashy gets. These guys kind of look like some desk call gets.
Yeah, they do.
Right. This reminds me of when I started. I was 40K. I wanted my guys to be desk calls, and this was like this pattern I started to put on it too. That's why I recognized it immediately. Like, all right, this kid looks like he went for the desk calls. You can see that he already started all the metal work. Really clean right there. It could be under like noticed right here because it's not the best quality picture, but thank you for still submitting. It was the only picture you submitted. But I noticed because I zoom in and I have that MechBoy eye that I can see that you already started getting the brass going on there. Really great colorization, and the skin being nice, bright and pink. You picked a really good face for this get right here with that triple barrel because he's screaming like he's holding on to all the DACA. So thank you very much, Grumfather, for submitting those. David, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I like that he added the white on the banners with that blue. Looks real
right.
nice.
The white on
Makes
the
them
banner.
pop a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. And then we're gonna move on. Oh, and before we move on for that, what the Henrietta with 300 pounds super chat. Stop the people's over. Whoa, that's the craziest chat we've ever received. I think I started sweating. I'm gonna try to hold it off here. You can read it, David.
You've been sweating.
I've been sweating. I played Green Tide today. I'm sweating. You can go.
Here's a gift for the channel. YouTube will take a third. That's true. It's great. British pounds, by the way.
British pounds, by the way. Thank you very much. Very supportive. And it does take a third. And yeah, maybe we should have promoted we never promote our Patreon because we actually do have one. So if you do hate them, you could. But thank you, Henrietta, because you just fought past the YouTube. You said, don't worry, I'll bypass all that. Whoa, this was one of those overwhelming, I just did a Green Tide. You just hit us with the Green Tide of pounds. Oh, that's true. My goodness. So thank you very much, Henrietta. I'll probably forever remember that just because how humbling that is and generous it really is. Because at the end of the day, we're just some gits. So for someone to do that for us doing what we love and just getting stuck in is a huge deal. I can't let you say it because I can't say it on this right now on YouTube. Whoa, to Henrietta. So thank you very much. Of course, you can DM me, hit me up anytime. You're a beautiful person. And thank you very much. And that gave us super, super momentum for Big Mech Brad and his flashy gets. So what we got here, he got the Power Rangers. So these guys all got, I can see he has like an orange dude, white started, red, blue, and then he has a dude in the actual leader. What I like, he's actually painting the gauntlets. I know that can be so overlooked, but the actual wrist wrap bracelets, he made different ones on each one. Like he's starting to distinctively look on them. I like that because it's making them even more distinct. Even though I call them Power Rangers, I wasn't making fun of you. I was saying that they're each distinctly identifiable as an individual dude, which fits the whole point of Flash Kits, right? They're even trying to updo each other within their own squad. So that's kind of how this squad looked to me. Like each dude was kind of like starting to pop off in their own way with their own, look. So
yeah, I never knew they had that actually until I saw him here.
What?
I don't know, the brace.
Oh yeah, the brace, right? Because that's what I was saying. Most people just overlook it and never even try. Yeah. And then what he did a great job here is this arm. He made it like a cybernetic arm coming out, and you almost never noticed that either.
That's
right?
True, yeah.
So great job to Big Mac Brad for this one. He also had some other funny ones where the guy in the back, he's not wearing an eye patch. He made it so he just has glasses. So the guy on the left, like there's another picture we have here, where he's just showing off his glasses, and that's freaking hilarious. So you can see it real quick. Also his bases. I love that little beautiful purple. I don't know what planet he's on that looks that good while they're getting stuck in, but hey. And then last but not least, that really green skin, really nice and vibrant. Love it. Great job, Big Mac. Oh, I could wrong thing. Big Mac Brad, my get. And then we move on. So here, and David was asking me Is this the same pic twice? It's absolutely not. This is my boy Lord Quackers. My Lord Quackers has the front and the back. Now I will say Lord Quackers is that your pictures came in small, so I had to kind of like open them up a little bit, which took away some of the detail, came a little blurry, but they're really, really cool, good looking models. The freehanding, because he gave them like that kind of like old, what's that? What's it called? I just had a brain fart. Where it's not clown pants, but they had like the pants with the stripes on it and the shirts. He kind of did that for all like some of his pants and his shoulder. Yeah. And he really made him look a little bit more like that, which reminded me of the piratey look. You appreciate the snow look, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I love me some snow.
Yeah, you love yours some snow.
What is that vehicle in the back?
The vehicle that he had in the back looked like either a looted kill tank or a giant battle wagon, by the way. I was trying to keep it in the picture. Here, I'll pull it up right here since you guys couldn't see too clean. That's a better picture of his stuff, how it actually looks. If you can see. Well, shout out to Mr. Lord Quackers. What I will say is the dude in the back with the captain hat, I like how you gave him the outlines. The freehanding on all their armor is pretty sick. And the fact that you let the weapons look like they got a little dusted on, like they got a little snowed on is awesome. Shout out to that crazy kill tank. Or if anybody knows what that vehicle is in the background, let us know what that is. And shout out to Mr. Lord Quackers for participating, like always you get with your awesome flashy gets. Whoa! Yeah, I'm really into the stripe and the blue pants. I can't remember what the look is supposed to be called, but I really like it. I really like that for Flash Kits. It's a really good look, in my opinion. And then we move on. So here we have, sorry guys, as we go through, I've moved around some people. Actually, Dave, tell me what you think here while I pull up my get.
I really like that orange he's got on the main, the knob, old knob, or the sergeant. That and that turquoise blue is cool.
Yeah, this is Zed, by the way. ZHD. Zed. This is another person that made me think of the fact that each individual dude is trying to outdo the other one. You got a blue dude, you got a light blue dude, you got a purple dude, you got an orange dude, and you got a red dude. You know what I'm saying? Look, I like that. That's I never, and the thing is, I never thought about it. All my Flash kits look exactly the same. That was just purple dudes. So whenever people really went out of the box here to make each guy look different, that takes creativity. Because now you're painting them almost like they're individual characters. You're like, this guy looks like this, and he has his own bits and gear. So this was some real work, some real creativity. Great job there. And you made it work with the picture presentation you had here, dude. I was like, my kid's just holding it on a platter. So thank you. You put a bunch of pictures to make sure we got something good.
It looks like it's this wet palette.
Yeah, it is this palette. What I'd say is the skin you don't get to see here, but I can see the muscle tension and definition that you did there. I really liked, and that turquoise, or what'd you call that? Is color David on the front guy?
I think that's turquoise, yeah.
Yeah, that turquoise color. Beautiful. I really like that kind of blue. There's only some times that it can be pulled off, but the fact that you put it with orange also,
yeah, that's crazy.
That's dope. So this guy just looks very unique and flashy for being, it's kind of like that guy who wears like the Jolly Rancher kind of colors in his suits, and you're like, dang, that looks, oh, it's kind of dope actually, dude. That's weird. I can't wear that, but that looks dope.
Like a Bruce Buffer.
Yeah, like Bruce Buffer from the UFC. That's what this guy in the front reminded me of. He's like the Bruce Buffer of Flash Kits. So shout out to that. Whoa, Zed. And then we move on to Lance. My boy Lance right here was another new entry to the paint competitions. So David, what you think about Lance? Like you said, he got them hungry colors, boy. Yeah.
He got a unique dark red going, actually.
Yes.
I've never seen that before.
I like that.
Yeah, it looks good.
I like it. This is a bit more of the red I would think with Flash Kits, and then how you put the blue.
Oh yeah,
right.
For the bullets.
So I like this really dark red you have with the blue. It makes the blue stand out more and make it seem kind of like it's energized, which is really the kick to the Flash Kits weapon like that. Let's see what else you have here. The banners, I was gonna say, being done as well. I can see you're working your way each one little bit. Really appreciate the distinction on the banners. Like one's a bad moon, and and like David was saying before, that's why some of them will have like a Bad Moons clan and then a Death Skull, and then they each have a own banner from a different clan because they were all freely kicked and booted from their clans, so they still kind of rock them. As for like the details, you can see the wiring, right? Because people forget the Flash Kits tend to have like a lot of wiring and stuff like that, and like electronics to it, which is why I try to tell people it's like energized explosive bolts, right? Like that's why it's strength 6 and damage 2. So it's better than a heavy bolter, right? That's how dope a Flashiest gun is. It's so good that it's better than a Space Marine heavy bolter.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like easily. And so a squad of them all making it rain is pretty sick.
Yeah, another thing I read was that the freebooters will also take in orcs that lost their clans, like let's say like after a devastating battle or something.
Yeah.
They'll take in the strays and they'll just join that clan.
Yeah. And speaking of them, the freebooters are who would Zod can kind of work with too.
Oh, yeah.
They'll use super runs and stuff like that. Like they're willing to do it because of that. So yeah, shout out to my boy here, Lance, with his beautiful gits. Also, I was gonna say the Poldrin on these guys for being white. There's a guy here he did that was white and red. You can't really see how nice it is on here, but in the Discord, I seen how nice that was. Beautiful picture. And then we move on. So now we move on to my get here. This is another Jay. You know better because Jay's won paint competition with his super grats before. But these pictures came out really small, so I had to blow them up a little bit. So Jay, if they don't look as detailed, that's why. Now Jay always comes with them crazy out of the box colors as well. He does really good shading that I always appreciate, and then he always makes sure whatever is electronic and energized is really distinguishable. Yeah. And that's what he did here too. So he said my entry for the you can't win because you already won, but great job on that. What do you think, David? He always goes hard with those color combos.
Yeah, he always goes hard. And I like how he blends that like purple into a like a yellow orangey.
Yeah.
It's like on the banners and the shoulders.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's really cool. And like I said, keeping it energized, blue, powerful weapons. I'll appreciate that. So shout out to you. You get it's the J Hugh. Whoa! Yeah, I see you in chat. Gangsta. All right. And then we move on. Let's see. How many do we have left? Okay.
10.
We got about 10 left, guys. Okay. So then we move on to my boy. Hold on, I have it right here, my bit. Garrick. Let's go. Not Garrett. Garrick. Yeah, Garrick. So Garrick's a new entry and one nice, clean photo. Boy, these were clean.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, did my git just get battle ready and throw it on here? I'm like, that's cool, but then I clicked the picture and I was like, oh, okay. You were cooking that day. That's sick. So I don't even know how you really got this color and it to be kind of like this kind of dark and very, very unique. I don't know what this is. Pink, red,
like a hot pink.
Like a hot pink.
He's trying to stick out.
And normally I'd say like, I'm one of them rough, tumbly kind of dudes, bro. I don't pink. But I like this. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty sick. You pulled this one off. The fact that the white, good contrast on there.
And my favorite part is on the captain hat, the lining of the white around the pink.
That's crazy. Clean. That captain hat, very clean right there. I was gonna say the skull looks really good, and then his squig. He nailed that squig where it looks kind of like the box paint squig. That's how clean that is. Good basing, little skulls everywhere. The ammo looking nice and energized. Different kind of checkered patterns, right? The fact that you're pink and white. If people don't know, right, the reason why orcs pick checkered is kind of like Gork and Mork, the kind of yin and yang kind of mentality in their heads of what's one side and another. So checker still works even if you're bringing them pink. It doesn't have to be black and white. So shout out to you. That was awesome. I thought it was just one color, but I think that when you have something that's a very overwhelming color like this, and then you put the details into everything else so it doesn't take over, is sometimes even harder work because you have such a bright color. You're like, okay, how can I make it so you notice the other hard work I did into everything else? And you really did that here, Garrett.
You did a really good job on the skin, and I think that's one of the things that gets taken away at first because the pink's just right in your face. It like even took me a while to appreciate the skin.
But when it's on the tabletop, that's what you want.
Oh, that's true.
Because as soon as people see this on the tabletop, they're like, oh, that's really bright. And then they look at it and then it makes them want to look at it more. And when you have an army or groups of this, I like when stuff's bright. So you can make it grim dark, but if it never gets on, if it's not on the, when it's on the table, people never look at it. They're just like, oh, those are some dark models over there. These guys, I'd be like, hold on. What Barbie's doing down here? You know what I mean? So shout out to you, Garrick. And then we move on. I'll move this so you can see. And this was a new entry as well. This is my get that said, I'm chocolate milk. What's his name? I'm chocolate milk. So he actually had a lot of really good pictures, but I feel like this one just summed it up the best and was the cleanest. These are commando flash kits, boy. These guys, right? camouflage, green camo. They have bushes. They stick bushes around their stuff a little bit so you can't see them as well. What really made me like this is it made the bipod stick out more for me. I don't know what it was because the Flash people don't realize Flash kits have bipods because their weapons are so big. That's why, like I said, they're bigger than heavy bolters. So even though it's an orc holding it, that's why it doesn't take 2 people to carry it. But technically, they get heavy, and that's why they have bipods. You know what I'm saying? So this guy makes it stick out more. The fact that you base them, like they're on platforms and they're in this location, makes it seem like they're like, we are here, you get. And then he has the big cigar dude in the front, or one of the cigar dudes. So I like this a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
these
like
have to be
this a
some
lot.
Blood Axe Flash kits.
Yeah, these have to be some blood. These are them tactical brigade Flash kits right here.
Yeah, I like these a lot.
Like, these are really, really fun. Really great job here. You don't have to have anything pop too much because the whole point is that they're supposed to be cunning-like, right? They're supposed to be tactical. And then you have a little bit, like you said, of the Goff. Yeah, people side-eye Goffy aggression will look where he still kept some of the red, still kept some of the don't worry, we them gets. And then the targeting quick having just like an X across it. It's kind of funny. It's like, so shout out to you. Chocolate Milk, and thanks for submitting. Beautiful. And then we move on to Mr. K. White. Barely got in right at the end, but you made it. You get, and he said, I finally tackled these and had the motivation. That's what we're here for, boy. Yeah. Get in there, get them done. They're done once. You don't got to go back and do it again. You can appreciate them, and we're going to sit here and appreciate them with you. And he, too, brought the red. Yeah. And you also stuck to a little bit more of a red, darker one. You gave it some weathering, which I like that. You didn't keep it clean. You can see on the edges, you pop some of the paint off. So it looks like they've been kind of weather damaged. Nice distinguishing colors all throughout the weapon, so it doesn't look like it's too uniform. And then really good bright green skin. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the guns just deserve to be red with how many people are painting them red.
It just looks natural. Yeah, you think it just looks like that?
Yeah, I think it should just be red. I appreciate that.
But what do you think about the paint job?
Oh, the paint job. Paint job is really good. Like the skin. Skin really pops.
The blue and red,
the blue and green. Red, yeah. The different colors on all the banners.
Yeah, I like
that little orange one. That's a lighter, lighter orange up there.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. That orange banner is the best looking banner. That orange one's popping. I would say the rocket one attracted me, but that's just because I'm a child. You know, I'm just kidding. No, I was like, rocket. No, that's cool. These are really sick, KY. I'm glad you got these done in time. They look beautiful. It didn't even look like you were running out of time here, dude. Right. These look like above and beyond. So you meant to tackle these. We mean tackle, finish them? What do you mean, like finish them off? They were already pretty good. Really great job here, Mr. KY. You always do a great job and keep submitting. Thanks for the support. Beautiful, beautiful, flashy kits. And then we move on to, this is my boy. You've won before. That's why I remember. I'm having a brain fart. This was more at the end. Why am I going the wrong way? Is this T-Boo? They were doing a paint competition because I actually know who this is.
Yeah, no, these are crazy looking. He used like every single color in the rainbow here.
Oh yeah, Fabs.
It works.
This is my boy Fabs. Yeah, he did the one. Yeah, he had the war. I think he won the first ever paint competition we did with the War Boss.
Oh, yeah, he did one War Boss.
Yeah. That's why I remembered, because it was the first one we ever did. So it's easy to remember. And this crazy distinction, kind of like J. Hugh, very creative gets. And the other thing is, my boy goes crazy. Like you can see the what is this quilt kind of like pattern or texture on the back of this one thing. Yeah. The dude on the back, Flash kit.
It's like leather armor.
Yeah. It's like leather armor. He does, I think these are either prints or older models. I don't remember, but these are definitely different kinds of Flash he gets. Bit more like a cyber plasma rifle-ish look on them. I would say maybe a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A little bit bigger. I would say that of their weapons. But this guy in the middle, the fact that he kind of looted up and he has like a robotic body, like a skeleton structure to hold up his big weapon, kind of helps offset the fact that everybody else's weapon's a little smaller. He's like, I'm the flashiest kid out of this squad.
That's why they follow him.
Yeah, so you always do a great job of mixing all these guys up. I like how the squig's done. Underneath holding that weapon up as his bipod, he has a squig, so I really like that a lot.
The squig looks like a Skittle.
It looks like a Skittle in the paint competition in the hazard signs. So thank you very much. And then we move on. So here's one of our gets that was also near the end of for being a winner, right, David? This is one of the guys David was going to pick as a winner. Came near, really, really near the end. Yeah, and this is my boy Magnetic or Magnetic. I'm Fornetic. I don't know how you say that.
Oh yeah, I would say magnetic.
I'm Magnetic and Formatic. Every one to be enunciated.
For
He said, Georgie here. This is my entry for the paint competition. Greetings from the Netherlands. And you did a great job with these. I'm glad you had a great time. I love the muzzle striation. I thought these guys were beautiful. As for, I didn't know how you really got this kind of this magnetic kind of look. Dave, how would you call it? It's like a dark, grim, dark kind of. If Chat would know,
the word.
I forgot what the word is. We talked about these, but these are absolutely awesome. I really like these. They come out as grim dark ish, right?
Yeah.
Very grim dark like this. These remind me of like classic how orcs were perceived to look at. They also have really good armor complex for the fact that some of these have green and then a couple of them have that red. And then that red's done as a really nice shading and kind of blending into it. And then it almost comes off as shiny, like these guys are a little bit clean. What do you think, David?
Yeah, the shading just everywhere looks good. It's got I don't know, like it's kind of like metallic kind of look.
Yeah. It's metallic. I don't know if this is the kind of paint you use or
it's maybe what he highlighted like the skin with.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
If you look closer, you can see the brush strokes.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, I don't know, it's really good.
Yeah, so beautiful models on these. I don't know where the weapons can. Oh, someone's here. That's what they said. I think these were chrome lac kitback conversion arms. That's what it was. I wasn't sure what these bits were. I would say I like how they looked. A lot of these guys have big weapons, multi barrels, a little bit more short. I would say they're a little more short looking, but the arms look sick. The fact that the arms look a little bit longer and they have good texture. Yeah, a lot of texture going on here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Otherwise, these are absolutely awesome. Old metallic grim darky look. These guys win for being grim darky. Magnetic, make sure you do some more entries because I'm sure you'll have some other really great stuff for our future competitions. And so we move on. And so for this get, I only had one picture, so I had to find you, is my boy who is a mushroom enjoyer.
Oh.
So mushroom enjoyer is this gets name. He doesn't have like a crazy looking squig that looked like he ate all the mushrooms, but he does have a really clever looking captain knob right there in the middle. What do you think about that guy?
Oh, that guy looks cool.
That guy looks cool, right?
Yeah.
A very distinct individual right there. This guy was another person that was up for doing possibly winning as well. The lip texture that he got off on there in color, you can see it's kind of like, again, that purplish. He did the mouth, he did the teeth, he did the light on the guns, the energy from the plasma, the weathering, the little bit of shading like on the actual metaling itself, so it doesn't look like it's just one flat color. The banners having weathering, cool as well. And then he's a World Wars II style hat right there. Yeah, that's a good way to copy it. Got this little this short mustache guy hat on almost to a degree, right? These guys are really good faces, really good detail to everything on them. He literally only put one picture. I feel like he could even put more pictures on and would have had even other good looking models on here. Sorry, angles of the same models on here. Any other details, David, that you want to say about these awesome gets?
The skin. He did a good job on the skin.
Yeah.
Just blends real nicely, smooth.
Would we call that like
definition?
We call it like an olive skin?
Yeah, I would say it's an olive. Closer to olive.
Well, so
it has that white ash.
White ash hat? I don't know what that means. Yeah. These models will look really
cigar,
cool. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Cigar's out.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one to point out, actually.
He's enjoying those mushrooms.
Yeah. Captain has white ash. Yeah. Like his is actually not still lit, or it's almost going out because he's like, he's too busy yelling at somebody right now. Well, if he's not hitting it, it's not going to be so bright, right? Because as you hit it, it lights up from the oxygen. So yeah, these are beautiful. I thought these were really good. These last couple one, guys, it's like so hard to pick. When we have like 35, 40 competition entries and it's people from all over the world, good. It's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick. That's why I always tell people, keep going, because if you didn't win one, chances are you'll win one in the future because you're just a good painter as a whole. So a lot of these guys keep doing it because people who didn't win before, one in the future because they just kept submitting them.
Yeah, that's true.
So great job, Mr. Mushroom and Joy. I know you're new here as well for submitting. These are absolutely beautiful models. Whoa, for these flashy gets. And then we move on. And these some other flashy models that I really appreciated as well. They were quite unique as they have like good freehanding on them and different colorization, like with the skin and the other details. Dave, what do you think about my gets models right here?
I like these models a lot, actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of detail, a lot of customization. He's got some freehand with the DAKA on a shoulder pauldron.
This was another person.
He's got your favorite pants, but in a blue style.
Those are my favorite pants in the blue style. If you ever see
me,
that's
just called pinstripe. Dude.
Those are all pinstripe pants. I'm gonna wear those. Yeah. I'm gonna rock those one day in an event. You see me at a GT wearing these, dude. You're gonna know what's up.
And the other part I love a lot is the parrot.
The parrot was so freaking clean, dude. I was like, literally, I was like, this guy wins because the parrot, dude. And then the other guys were voting. Were like, let's keep looking at it. Okay, I was like, all right, I like the parrot.
And those, what are they? Ammo runs?
Yes.
Ammo runs
So this is actually his ammo run, right? These two things, dude. If it was just me here, then my boy Busker Rhymes, by the way, Busker Rhymes. If this was me, just me and you in this, I would have picked you just because for winning, just because you won me over with the ammo run, dude. That's so sick, right? I love that ammo run. And I love the different blue coloring of the skin. You had so many different colors on these models that you made it work. Really distinct skin, I would say, on there. And I seen you did good like on those plasma weapons. They don't have like that maybe like airbrushed or shaded or dry brush kind of energized look, but I can see you put over each coil. You went through each bolt on here. You outlined the ammo cartridges. You did the weapons. You did a lot of really nice things on these gets. But I'm really in love with that freaking ammo runs and this pad right here. One thing that you can see is that he has a bunch of bits from a lot of different stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to, are you familiar with the lore, how you get? Busker Rhymes, or you were just getting everything, right? So these guys look like they have a good hodgepodge of all the best bits, right? This guy's like Bad Moon's armor right here and such.
Yeah. So
great jobs here. He said the highlights were the parrot, the hook hand, the beard with the dynamite ornaments. And then these are hard to see in our little pictures, but he put individual models. So if you check out in the Discord, harpoon and then peg leg. So some of these guys, he put different angles on here. We'd have to go through like 8 pictures to see every single guy. But those are the highlights. If you check these out on the Discord, these are absolutely awesome, cunning, fantastic, flashy gets with some real creativity. But this is the best looking ammo run possibly in all of 40K. And then we move on to the flashiest get. So now we get it is pinstripe. All right, it's pinstripe.
Yeah.
I'm in love with pinstripe, I guess, guys. We're just here. All right. I love all the pink lips and all. Yeah, that's something that I like the pink lips. I was like, yeah, and then I was like, wait, what? Why are you focusing on the lips like that?
Just read it so casual.
Yeah, read it so casual. I like the pink lips too. Hold on. No. Okay, now we're gonna get demonetized. No, just kidding. All right. So we have the flashiest gets here. Putting your way. I'm gonna relax. All right, so we have the flashiest gets here. These are the winners on top of the people that I already said are winners. So you know, and David. So there's a lot of you awesome gets. So here we are. So then we move on to someone who went all crazy what it means to be flashy. This guy went and put emblems on every single banner, did every single skull and part of the banner. If you look at every single one of these banners, they all are distinct and done in detail, showing off the distinction of where they're from in each clan. Then from front to back, they have all their details done on their bits, their armor, their skin, nice and bright green. From full well-roundedness, these guys won their way on because from top to bottom, they're flashy. From it's not just their bodies, their torsos, their guns, everything got that flashy thing put onto it. Good edge highlighting, and I really love the color, this kind of blue, right? This kind of blue is something I really appreciate. So, David, what do you think about this get?
Yeah, like you said, everything from top to bottom, just flashy.
Everything, right?
They all have their little bit of individuality with the banners, and some have different armor colors.
Yeah, this person is called Paint After Dark. He said some flashy gets freshened up after my event. So shout out to you. you get, make sure I send you a message that you're a winner. Just I sent it all to you guys in DMs. It looks like we're only friends. We're not friends, just so you know. So if you don't get your dice because we're not friends, paint after dark, right? I could send you a message that you won. All right, cool. So paint after dark ended up winning. That's one of our first winners. Shout out to you. Very bright, very green. I bet you on the tabletop these look awesome because between the banners, the bright skin, the bright color, and this is why I wouldn't want my flash kits aren't red. Don't have red guns. But the reason I didn't want them red is because I feel like their munitions would be red. Tell me what you guys think in chat. Me and David, like you said, David's not wrong for his red guns, and you guys mostly made them red guns. I like the munitions red, right? So that's just me.
Yeah, either way, highly impressive, especially if you did this after dark.
Yeah, for sure. And so paint after dark. Shout out to you, you get. And then we move on to the next winner. And this is one that David, I think, really liked, right, David?
I like this one
that David was really into. I'll pull up the Git's name here because it's one of our middle entries. So, Dave, why do you like this Git so much, huh?
Really, because the snaz guns. I mean, they just pop. Like he's got a little bit of pink, and he used that blue, that light like baby blue. But then it looks like if you look closely, he like dry brushed with the white in certain areas.
Yeah, you're right.
That just makes it look
even nicer.
Better. Yeah. And then that banner, that freehand on that banner.
Yeah, for sure.
That's like there's a little Space Marine head on it too, I believe, with a pike through it.
Yeah, these are absolutely awesome. The banners were done nicely. The banner is beautiful. The guys with their skin is really beautiful. The dude in the face looks like he has a scar over his eye. These guys, and the weathering that's done on them in detail, you can check them out in the Discord as well for how good these are. But these guys are done beautifully from front to back, top to bottom, and a little bit of creativity on them gets to look a little bit different with the banner and with the banner kit bashing. I feel like that was just enough. I do love that he kept the one arm shooting with a pistol. You know, I said a lot of the flash kits be missing that. He kept it. And then he also made that guy look even really more sick too. So shout out to you, Nagoro, for winning that one. You super flashy Git. Yes. And then we move on to the final one. I like the pink, by the way. We move on to the final Git. The crazy Git, the big Git. This guy is sitting here with the Mech Captain, or at least that's kind of what I thought when I first seen him, right? This guy looked like a tried and true Mech Captain, really out here. This is our boy Mech Soul. So he said, I'm not there to 3D prints are allowed, but here's my Mech Captain, my Mech Soul, and his DAKA addicts. So, whoa for the DAKA addicts. And his Captain Mech Soul is what he's calling him. And our his name is Mech Soul. So this is him as a big Mech. I love that he has a banner that's free hiding. Here's the wall. I don't know how you get a freaking picture like that. Sick. How do you even get a picture like that on the model? Is that painted or he said that these are printed? Is that a printing thing? Because we all want to know.
There's no way a printer can print.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know how you did that. You printed a little picture, freehanded that.
It's like a small little portrait.
I don't know how he got it. If you're not watching this, or if you watch any part of this, it's only 10 seconds.
Print to decal, maybe.
How'd you get that? Is it could do a print to decal? We're assuming here. Even aside from that, look at the actual Mech Captain's detail from running yellow. When people paint yellow, I was told continuously, one, it was hard to get detail to pop on it, hard to get depth on it, and then hard to get the same consistent yellow throughout it. You nailed every single one of those points. The shoulder has a little bad moon sticking out of it. The banner looks sick. The feathers on the banner, and then his actual gets in front. All these, I know they're pinned, but the actual how they're done too is really nice. Shout out to the comment here. We're gonna bring my favorite comment. Let's see, hold on. From Henrietta. Where is this? We're gonna use it for this one. I'm gonna find your comment, Henrietta, again. I love the pink lips and all. You know what I'm saying? So we got this dude right here, the purple mohawk with his pink lips. These guys are all pink lipped out right now, which is something Henrietta and I love a lot, I guess. And then we got the purple guns, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure what kind of claw that is, but his claw looks absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It looks more like a squig mouth. So that's him. So shout out to Mech Soul for your awesome paint competition entry. And that is the end of the paint competition entries for the Flashiest Gits. So thank you to everybody who got stuck in and supported throughout this stream, and to everybody that's helping to continuously help with the paint competitions and get stuck in. So David, what do you think the next paint competition should be?
I don't know. We kind of tossed around a few of them. What do you think? Maybe we haven't done Death Dread, right?
We did.
We did.
We did.
Oh yeah, we did.
That's what I'm. But yeah, we did Death Dread.
What haven't we done?
Stomp. Just saying.
You ready for a stomp?
I think we're ready for the
How
stomp.
long
It's
do-
about.
I feel like we need to give extra time for a stompa.
You think?
It's a stompa, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you need to build your stompa still?
I mean, we could do Stompa. Tactical Brigade related. We could is what I was thinking. We
Tank
could
buses?
do Commandos.
Oh, Mandos?
What was the other option?
Tank buses?
All right, chat. For the people still here, Mandos or Tank Buzzers? Can we do a poll? Can you do a poll or no?
Pull up you. You logged in on here?
In here? All right, guys. We're gonna try to do a poll here real quick. He said, "Bro, I have the Stompa box. Will you be able to do that?" Let's see, guys. We're gonna see if we can do this. So, what I gotta go to here?
Go to the channel.
I never do polls live, guys. Just so you guys know. Okay.
Video.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, do it in the chat.
You can do it.
Plus
Okay.
Over here. Plus
Oh, the plus sign? Oh, okay. Start a poll. Q&A. We're going to do Stompa or what, Mandos?
No, that's the question.
Oh, that's the question.
Yeah, because if we do the Stompa, I think we definitely should give more time.
You think? Okay. Stompa or Mandos?
I don't know how many people really rush to build it if they got that boxes.
All right, ready? We're starting the poll now. Or I did Tank Buzzers, but it's too early for that. Boom. All right, we have the poll up you gets for the last 2 minutes while we talk for the last couple of things. Sorry, not free, open sourced. Huh?
Breakable.
Oh, not enough people have access to those kits, you know what I mean? So yeah. All right, cool. And as for that, well, yeah, thanks guys for the paint for participating in the paint competition. Thank you very much to Henrietta for giving us the biggest, most generous super pounds of all time. And that means a lot, but still thank you to everybody else as well who participated. Arcane Asylum, ECOP, Wicked Joe, of course, my shout out, Wicked Joe, J Hugh, Murder Mouth out here. So all you guys that are getting stuck in that always support and help us a lot with donations today, especially was really big one. Arcane Asylum, we got you. Make sure I don't miss anybody from the super chats. So really supportive, active chat today. So that was really nice to see. So thank you to everybody for that, as that matters a lot for the algorithm. So might not get the most rewatches, but hey, we're gonna have a good live interaction for this stream. So that's what we want to see. So thank you. Go ahead and make sure to leave a like and subscribe or share or yell at somebody if you see an orc. So get the word out. We're growing. We just hit 5K. We got to do the raffle for that as well.
What's going on right now?
If you're a Patreon member, there are very few Patreon people. Just shooting it out. I'm not gonna say how many exactly, but I promise you it's less than whatever you're thinking in your head. When I found out how many, I was like, oh, the same people might win, I guess. Right? So
you have a good chance to win.
You're a really good chance of winning, just saying.
And, probably Discord too. Just
and then
we just opened that one up.
Yeah, so we're opening that one up. And then of course we have the YouTube one itself, and then we'll also give away merch for that one. And then we're doing battle wagons or something, right?
Yeah,
so
we're gonna give away battle wagons. So we'll raffle off one for each member group, and then the YouTube, since that's our main platform, we'll give out more prizes, little goodies.
Yeah.
So be a member by I think the end of the month of March.
Okay.
Yeah, just check out the post for the official details. But yeah, I'm excited that we hit 5K.
All right. Thank you very much to everybody for that. And what, you think that's it for the poll? You want to end it?
Yeah, let's end
it. All right. Last two. We could have had this out way sooner. So it seems like for the end of the poll, Mandos win out barely.
Ooh,
oh, Mandos win out by a couple
vote,
polls. Yeah, it looks like 1 or 2 poll votes.
Yeah, 1 or 2 votes.
So Commandos it is. Mandos lead the way. Whoa, for the Tactical Brigade. So with that being said, there's always one thing to keep in mind is don't cross the wall, because we knock your teeth out. Whoa.